Imagine a world without money. No coins. No bills. No banks. Just you, your goats, and a burning desire to get a sack of grain that was life over 10,000 years ago. If you wanted something, you had to trade something in return. 1 chicken for 3 loaves of bread. 1 fishing net for a hunk of meat. Simple, right? But what happens when the baker doesn't want your chicken? That's exactly the problem early humans faced every day. And so begins the story of how humanity went from awkward barters to invisible currencies backed by nothing, and how a mysterious digital coin changed everything in a dusty Mesopotamian village thousands of years ago. A man named Enkidu holds the leash of 2 goats, trying desperately to trade them for wheat. But the farmer scoffs. He doesn't need goats, he needs tools. So Enkidu trudges several miles to a blacksmith and offers his goats for an axe. Only then can he return and finally secure the sack of grain. This, in essence, was the barter system. And while it worked, it was wildly inefficient. Economists call it the double coincidence of wants. Both parties must want what the other offers. It's no surprise that civilizations quickly began searching for a better solution. They found it in commodities, objects that had intrinsic or agreed upon value. In Rome, salt became so valuable it paid soldiers. In Africa, cowrie shells served as currency. In ancient China, metal tools and knives were traded. The idea of money was taking shape, not minted yet, but definitely forming. Then, around 600 BCE in the ancient kingdom of Lydia, something revolutionary happened. King Alyattes introduced coins made of electrum, a naturally occurring alloy of gold and silver. These coins, stamped with the image of a lion, became the world's first official currency. Now, Enkidu's descendant didn't have to haul chickens across town. He carried coins, tiny discs of value. Coins could be trusted because they were made of precious metals. Their worth wasn't just a matter of opinion, it was embedded in the metal itself. The Greeks followed with the drachma. The Romans introduced the denarius. India used punch-marked silver coins. Everywhere, metal money became the engine of trade. It was a new era, an era of trust, backed by tangible value, but metal was heavy. In 7th century China, a merchant named Li Wei grew tired of dragging sacks of coins across vast and dangerous trade routes. He noticed other merchants were issuing paper promissory notes, receipts that said, "I owe you this much silver." By the Song dynasty, the government began issuing official paper currency called jiaozhis. It was light, easy to carry, and backed by state authority. China had invented paper money centuries later. Marco Polo visited China and returned to Europe with tales of this magical paper that held value like gold. Europe was skeptical at first, but eventually adopted the idea. Banks began issuing notes backed by precious metals. The convenience of paper took over, but with paper came illusion. In 1816, Britain took a bold step and officially adopted the gold standard, declaring that every paper pound was worth a fixed amount of gold. The US followed in 1900. People trusted that behind every bill was a chunk of gold in a vault. But then, in 1971, everything changed. President Richard Nixon announced the US dollar would no longer be backed by gold. The dollar became fiat currency. Its value depended solely on faith in the government. Suddenly, that $10 bill in your wallet was just that, a piece of paper worth $10 because everyone agreed it was. Trust had replaced gold. And for a while, it worked. Then came the digital revolution. In the 1990s, online banking took off. Debit cards replaced cash. In Kenya, people started sending each other mobile airtime as a form of currency. Money had left our pockets and entered the cloud, but cracks appeared. Banks controlled everything. Wire transfers took days. Fees multiplied. People started to question the entire system. Then, in 2008, during the height of the global financial crisis, a mysterious figure named Satoshi Nakamoto published a 9-page white paper titled Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. No banks. No governments. Just code, encryption, and consensus among thousands of independent computers. In January 2009, the first Bitcoin block was mined. Embedded in the data was a hidden message. The Times 3 Jan 2009 Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks. It wasn't just a technical innovation. It was a protest. Bitcoin offered a new way, an alternative to the systems that had failed millions. It started small. Early adopters traded thousands of bitcoins for a few dollars or a pizza. But the idea exploded. Bitcoin begat Ethereum. Ethereum begat thousands of altcoins. People began buying homes with crypto, paying for art, launching companies. Some became millionaires overnight. Others lost fortunes. Governments panicked. Banks scrambled. Central banks around the world began experimenting with their own digital currencies, CBDCs. Crypto had changed the rules, and now, we stand on the edge of something bigger. From chickens to chains, barter to blockchain, money has always been one thing: a shared belief. A story we all agree to tell. Today, you tap a phone, and somewhere in a server farm, a number changes. Tomorrow you might earn tokens in the metaverse. You might transact in seconds with someone halfway across the globe using a currency that's never touched a printing press. One truth remains: money isn't just about value, it's about trust. And in this fast-changing world, the story of money is far from over. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more amazing content.